Crimson Peak. Now, Crimson Peak was directed by Guillermo del Toro. The film stars Mia Wasikowska, Tom Hiddleston, Jessica Chastain, and Charlie Hunnam. The film essentially tells the story of a young girl, played by Wasikowska, who falls deeply in love with Tom Hiddleston's character, who is this very mysterious guy. After they get married, he decides to take his wife along to come to live with him and his sister at their very old and creepy manor. However, upon moving in, mysterious incidents start to occur, and now we have our movie. Now, going into this movie, I, like most people, expected a straight-up ghost story. Because when you look at the trailers, you look at the pictures, you look at any promotional material, you're like, this is clearly going to be a ghost movie. Sadly, it isn't. Yes, they completely mismarketed this movie, and I hate it when they do that. For example, when the first trailers to Drive hit the internet, people were expecting this huge action extravaganza. And it wasn't. It was more of a drama. It was more of a psychological thriller. And people were disappointed, which was sort of unfair towards the movie, which was actually great. But they expected something different because they were promised something different. Crimson Peak is more of a romance/period piece. The ghost element of this movie is sort of there because reasons. So that in mind, how is that movie? This movie has a lot of give and take, but me being a positive guy, let's talk about the positives first. This being a Guillermo del Toro movie, you can expect certain things. And yes, this movie is a visual experience. And I'm not only talking about the visual effects created on a computer. No, I'm talking about the cinematography, I'm talking about the practical effects, the costume design, the set design. This movie is beautiful to look at. When you look at this castle, you're like, holy shit. This creates an atmosphere that actually fits in with a ghost story. However, this movie is not a ghost story. And let's talk about the acting a little bit. Mia Wasikowska, she's okay in the movie. She's decent, but this is not a standout performance. I feel like any young actress could have pulled that off. Tom Hiddleston, on the other hand, kills it completely. He's amazing again. We all love Tom Hiddleston at this point. We loved him as Loki, and he's also amazing in this film. Charlie Hunnam, the guy from Sons of Anarchy, completely underutilized in this movie. He plays a very generic character. And you can see that this guy gives his best, but the script just doesn't give him anything to work with. And that's really sad because I love this guy. Standout performance to me personally, Jessica Chastain. Seriously, I never pictured to see Jessica Chastain in a role like that, but she killed it. I don't really want to give away anything concerning her character because I feel like this would be stepping into spoiler territory, and I'm not doing that. But besides the acting and the way the movie looks, there is not a lot to look forward to. Honestly, it's essentially a love story with thriller elements that we've seen a million times before. Only this time around it's more fun to look at because of the amazing cinematography. The ghost element of the movie is actually the thing that bothered me the most about this film. Because clearly, from the intro shot, you're like, oh, so ghosts do exist in this universe. And it's interesting, you're like, okay, this will really be important for the plot. And sadly, it isn't. This movie would be no different without these ghosts. And I'm like, why do you even have ghosts in there? They're just there for reasons. The dialogue in this movie also at times was really off-putting. There's this one scene where Wasikowska's character has literally just seen a ghost. And she confesses what she just saw to her husband. And he's like, well, I'll cheer you up. Let's just go to the post office. And I'm like, who writes that shit? At some point, this movie actually gets gratuitously violent, but it was so over the top that it actually looked like Mortal Kombat. I looked to my friend and I was like, fatality. So to sum it all up, we have amazing performances on Hiddleston and Chastain's part, fabulous cinematography, and amazing practical effects and costume design. But on the other hand, we have a very thin and predictable plot, expositional dialogue, bland characters, and ghosts just shoehorned into the movie. Seriously, I can't emphasize that enough. The ghosts are so unnecessary. I guess they were like, yeah, we have a creepy old castle, so let's just have some ghosts in there somewhere. So is this movie a disappointment? Yes. Is it a piece of shit? No. There are actually a lot of things to enjoy about this film, which is why I'm gonna give Crimson Peak the bronze medal. It's a movie that you can definitely go out to see without hating yourself for it. but it really does not live up to the expectations by any means. So have you seen Crimson Peak? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys as always for watching, and if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.